View. My bad. You know what? I forgot. I've been sitting up there running my mouth. Hey, I'm glad you said that. Oh man, that's crazy. I've been sitting there running my mouth and forgot to turn the mic on. Okay, all right. Sorry about that, y'all. I assume you can hear me now. I don't know how I did. How I managed to do that. Hey, that's that amateur stuff. That's that rank amateur stuff. Forgot to turn the mic on. Ah, hey, so drag me out and shoot me, okay? Man, I'm sitting there running my mouth. Man, it's crazy. And these just starting to come through. Uh, all right, cool. Yeah, excellent. Cool. Uh, yeah, what I was literally talking about was the fact that they started pulling ice out of Minnesota. I had a whole conversation with myself, huh? Wow. Yeah, they started pulling ice out of Minnesota, 700, but the number they had there was 3,000. Now, why they had 3,000 ICE agents in Minnesota is crazy, you know. That's crazy. They had 3,000, and now it's 2,300. And we know who they are. That's the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers, and all of them January 6th motherfuckers that got released. That's the ICE agents that's running around the country right now. So we all know that, right? Um, that's just crazy. So they pulled 700 out of Minnesota. I wonder where they're gonna send them to. They'll probably be coming here to Indiana. That's probably where they're gonna be coming to Indiana. Look at hey, coming to a town near you. By the way, I got some social media stuff that's funny as hell. Caught my eye, laugh. Oh, I love the social media stuff. Y'all know that. Check these, check these fools out right here.
Dear, when the fuck is your boo pill gonna kick in?
It should be any second now.
Ah! What the fuck?
Looks like it's ready. Come on.
Ugh.
Oh, I love it. I love the shit they be making on these doggone videos. I love it. That tickles me to death. That stuff tickles me. And oh girl, my girl here, she grabbed onto her boy. I love this. Check this out.
Oh, motherfucker, I got your ass. Bring your ass on.
All right, Betty. All right, Betty. All right, Betty.
Come on.
All right, Betty.
Come on, bring
All
your
right.
ass on. I got your ass again.
All right, Betty.
Got your
Ah, all right, Betty.
got some balls
You got
juice
me.
on
You
my
got me.
head. Bring your motherfucking ass on
You
here.
got me. You got me. Ah, shit, you got me.
Oh, I love that. That is so funny. Boy, that is so funny. That tickles me to death. Oh my goodness, that tickles me to death. Ooh. Oh girl had that fella. Oh girl had that fella. Wasn't nothing he could do. Oh man. Oh, another thing I was saying is I'm in a good mood. As y'all can see, I'm still in a good mood. I'm in a good mood that the winter is going on by. It's February. It is February. It's February. Soon to be March. Now, understand something. February is the shortest month. But nobody told February that. February tries its best to be the longest month. It tries so hard to be the longest month. But we gonna make February short this year. Doggone it. Man. Anyway. I got I was looking through stuff today and it was so crazy. It was so crazy that I was watching stuff from Sunday and Todd Blanche. Oh, Bongino is alive and well back on his podcast. You know, I thought I seen something with Todd Blanche. I mean, with Bongino asking somebody some questions about something. So he done resurfaced, huh? They turn. You know what? Now here's the thing. I don't know why. Whoever watches his podcast got to be the biggest fools in the world. If he's got people watching his podcast, you got to be a sucker to believe anything Dan Bongino got to say. You got to be a real sucker. Because after this performance he had at the FBI, what could he say that was credible? What could he say to anybody that was credible at this point? Man, Dan Bongino can go jump in the lake as far as I'm concerned. He can go jump right in the lake. Because his trustworthiness is at zero on the trust meter. Yeah, absolutely. Or zombie. Absolutely. Man, Dan Bongino. Boy, I tell you what, I bet you when he goes around in circles now, the circles he travel in, I bet people just look at him like, you know, they probably look at him like and just shake their head. You just go over there and sit down somewhere. But another dude that they should do that to is the guy I was just about to talk about, Todd Blanche. Todd Blanche was Trump's personal lawyer. He is the assistant attorney general right now. And Todd Blanche went on the talk show circuit Sunday trying to tell people that they are being honest in their release of the Epstein file stuff. Now, y'all know that big old release of Epstein file stuff, they literally released pictures of children being in bad situations and redacted the faces of the molesters. I'll say this again. In this latest batch of Epstein files, they released pictures of children, okay, and the names of them, and covered up the faces of the pedophiles. How crazy is that? How crazy is that? And Todd Blanche went on the TV circuit Sunday and tried to tell America that partying with Epstein is not a crime. You heard that right. He said partying with Epstein is not a crime. Check it out.
Is there any chance that any of these individuals who partied with Epstein and engaged in, relations with minors will be prosecuted?
Well,
Any
look,
chance?
I'll never say no, and we will always investigate any evidence of misconduct. But as you know, it is not a crime to party with Mr. Epstein. And so as horrible as it's not a crime to email with Mr. Epstein. And
reminder that this guy, the Deputy Attorney General, who says that partying with Epstein isn't a crime, yeah, he's Trump's own former personal attorney. And he's also the guy that was sent to go talk to Ghislaine Maxwell. And just days later, she was moved from a high security prison to Club Fed, where it was reported that she gets to play with puppies now. Now, I don't have a law degree, but Todd, even I know that if someone was partying at a sex party with minors with Jeffrey Epstein, that very well could be a crime. And at the very least, they're a witness and they should be interviewed. And I say that for all of the witnesses involved. I don't care if you're on the left, if you're on the right, if you're a former president, if you're a sitting president, it does not matter. All of these elites should be held accountable. But it's kind of insane now that Trump's name is littered all across the Epstein files that they've released thus far, that the new MAGA talking point is partying with Epstein isn't a crime. It was so gross to see a man so casually excuse abuse, but this also follows a running theme that we're seeing from MAGA now. We saw it with Megyn Kelly when she said, well, Jeffrey Epstein liked 15-year-old girls. It's not like he liked 8-year-old girls. At a certain point, MAGA needs to look themselves in the mirror and ask themselves, how much more of your soul are you willing to sell?
So why are Republicans so interested in Bill and Hillary Clinton? It's because they're trying to distract from the fact that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files thousands and thousands of times. In those files, there's highly disturbing allegations of Donald Trump raping children, of Donald Trump threatening to kill children. So I encourage your press to go look at these allegations, and I'm highly disturbed that Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche just got the law wrong. Yesterday, he said, essentially, that it is not a crime to party with Jeffrey Epstein. Well, that's actually not correct. If Jeffrey Epstein was human trafficking minors for these sex parties, and you show up and patronize the establishment at that party, yes, you're guilty, because patronizing is part of the law, the federal sex trafficking law. So Deputy General Todd Blanche just got that wrong, which maybe explains why they aren't investigating all these folks, including Donald Trump. He needs to read the law and investigate these people. He also needs to resign, not only for not knowing the law, but a massive, not only screw up, but the biggest privacy violation in history. They release a lot of pictures of minors unredacted, just violated the privacy of these girls. It is uncalled for what they did. The one thing that they could not do under this law was to invade the privacy of these women now, who were girls at the time, who were victims of sex trafficking. Also, He met with Ghislaine Maxwell. Maxwell moved her to a minimum security prison and then got a puppy for her. So for all those reasons, he's just got to leave the Department of Justice.
Now, can you all imagine that? Hey, what's going on there? Ronnie and Carmen and Lisa. Could you imagine? They moved Ghislaine Maxwell to minimum security and went and got her a puppy. That should be a crime in itself. That should be a crime in itself. The crookedness of this administration. We are definitely in a pickle. We're in a pickle. We are in a pickle. They're talking about making it difficult, other than taking the elections national, which there's no law on the books that says you can do that. Steve Bannon is out there. Yeah. Hey, Ronnie. Yeah, nice luxuries. Well, first of all, she had the luxury of leaving prison to go to Club Fed. She left prison and went to Club Fed. That's one thing. But they out there literally talking about Steve Bannon out there talking about putting ice all around the polling stations and stuff like that. That's what got me. That's what's got me. They out there talking about making it where people gonna be scared to vote. I don't know if you want a job with this administration or not, because while the getting may be good right here in the beginning, the getting might be good, but, I'd hate to think about what's going to be coming down the pike next, for these folks. It might be a little ugly. It might be a little ugly a little later on. I don't know if I would want to be working with these people. Now, you can fill your pockets. If you work with these people, it's very lucrative to work with these people right now because they filling their pockets up. They filling their pockets up big time. I've been telling folks they are filling their pockets up. The Congress people who are going along with this. Well, one thing they want to do later on is they want to go down to K Street. K Street in Washington, D.C. is where all the lobbying firms is. And they want to be lobbyists after they leave Congress. So they got to keep complying with what's going on. And half of them have committed so many crimes that they got to keep, going along with it. You'll look out for me. I appreciate that. And you know what? I'll probably be needing it. Again, these folks, it's gonna be some reckoning going on after this is over. So, but I appreciate the lookout. It's gonna be some reckoning though going on after this. I hate what may have to happen when it comes time to change over, when it comes time to vote. It's getting kind of spooky with all of the language. Now, I know this guy loves to just talk. They love to talk, and he's afraid. He's scared. That's why they talking about nationalizing the elections. He says the Republicans need to take over the elections. That was his words. That sounds like he knows what's going to happen, come November. We got 9 months. We gotta bear it out. We gotta bear it out. Listen to what Charlemagne and the governor of New Jersey had to say. They were talking about this mess. And listen to also what Steve Bannon had to say.
Like in this year's midterms, the Trump administration may use ICE, which I believe is just Trump's personal army at this point. I feel like he's going to use them to disrupt or intimidate voters at polling places. Is that a concern for you? And as governor of Maryland, how do you prevent that from happening?
You're damn right. We're going to have ICE surround the polls come November. We're not going to sit here and allow you to steal the country again. And you can whine and cry and throw your toys out of the pram all you want, but we will never again allow an election to be stolen.
It's a major concern. I mean, and they're not even hiding it. Word.
Right. They're not hiding it. And by the way, governor of Maryland. That's Westmore, governor of Maryland, not New Jersey. I always get that wrong. And he's doing a great job. They well into that rebuild of that bridge that collapsed. But Steve Bannon, the Republicans, they're not even hiding their plans. They're outwardly saying it. And I think this is just fear. I think this is just, we're afraid. We have to have some kind of offense. I think this is their defense. They're coming and saying offensive shit because they're afraid. I think they're backed into a corner. I think they got on the Trump train, and the Trump train has done left the station. The crazy train and left the station, and I think they got to start saying anything now. I think that's what's going on. My problem is he's got this army now. Okay, all them ICE agents running around the country, those are Proud Boys, Oath Keepers, all the other right-wing groups that you can name, those J6ers that got released from prison, they all out there running around with their face covered up with ice on their patches. That's who these ICE agents are. So I think he's got his own little army out there that is willing. We've seen that they're willing to kill people. We've seen that. Okay? We have seen that. And Steve Bannon talking about they're going to be putting ICE around the polling stations. Well, why would that matter to U.S. citizens? There's no illegals going to vote. So what's the ICE people going to be around the polling stations for? What is the ICE agents going to be around the polling stations for? There's no illegals voting. So, this is all scare, I think. I think this is all just to scare. They don't have to hide anything. Yeah, I guess they don't. They just putting it all out there. I got a couple of problems. And those problems got a long time before the election. Yeah. There's a long time before the election. You say something gonna die down more later. Okay. I hope you're right. I hope you're right. I hope the closer we get to the election, a lot of this dies down. I, you know, I don't know though. I'm thinking the closer we get to the election, um, they're going to start getting those people that support him activated to start doing crazy stuff. The closer we get to the election, the more pressure he's going to be under. And people under pressure do crazy stuff. And we already know he's got these people out there willing to go out there and kill. Remember, they were going to hang his vice president. Okay? Remember that. Understand this. Understand his vice president would not get in the car to leave the Capitol. That's how crazy these people are. I think the closer it gets to that election, he's going to start having them do stuff behind the scenes. There's going to be something something violent, probably. Something violent. And there just ain't no telling, because remember, these people will do anything for this guy. Especially when, they're rewarded by being set free. And they've been given these jobs. Well, hey, man, I hope we all been stocking up and gearing up already. I don't think anybody here is new as far as stocking up and gearing up. What measures you take? I'm assuming you're taking some to batten down the hatches at home. And we can keep preaching it, because let's face it, we should be stocked up for any kind of emergencies anyway. We got to look at it that way now anyway, because guess what? Just on a serious tip, all of them people that got power outages down in the South from all of that ice that was on the lines and on the trees, have you heard anything? Have you heard anything at all about FEMA? Has anybody heard anything about FEMA going out and helping those people in the South? I haven't heard a word. And there's nothing wrong with a reminder, my brother. That's cool. Nothing wrong with a reminder. I have not at all heard any declarations of emergencies. Anybody heard declaring emergency? Have we heard that anywhere? I'm like, all I've been hearing is people power still out. That's all I've been hearing. So we got to stock up on stuff for any emergency, okay? Because there could be a rolling blackout. There could be anything. So any emergencies, but coming toward this election, for sure. Are they still active? FEMA is oh boy. Are they still active? Well, I'll put it this way. FEMA falls under the umbrella that Kristi Noem runs. So You tell me what you think. Remember Christy Nome and those folks. Hey, Charlotte, what's up? They don't. Yeah, they don't give no fucks, right? they don't. They absolutely don't. Christy Nome has purchased 2 brand new jets. They've hired all of these ICE agents and paying them $50,000 bonuses and paying off their student loans. And I think they're making 50 or 100,000 a year to run around in the streets and terrorize folks. That's where the FEMA money is. So, I tell you what, and be honest, the hardest hit are them people that voted for him. Them the people getting killed. The ones that voted for this administration is the ones getting killed. So, yes, stock up, stock up, stock up. Gotta stock up. Gotta get supplies. Hey, I'm gonna tell you something. Also get a for those that don't, get yourself a first aid kit. Get an IFAC kit. An IFAC is IFAK. IFAC is IFAC stands for individual first aid kit. Get a first aid kit, get a good one. Get one with make sure you got a military style tourniquet. Make sure you got a military style tourniquet. Make sure you got an Israeli bandage in your IFAC kit, in your first aid kit. Those 2 things are you need. An Israeli bandage and a military style tourniquet. It is a different kind of tourniquet, not your belt to go around your arm and pull and hold it with your teeth, John Wayne style, not that thing. I will grab a video so we can see what a good first aid kit looks like. But yes, stock up on food, stock up on everything that you can. I know my girls down there in Florida. I hate I'm not down there because I would be eating shit out of their pantry right now. They wouldn't have shit left. Every time they put something in the pantry, I'd be in there in the middle of the night eating that shit up. I'm sorry, y'all. But, yeah. This election is going to be a doozy. It's going to be a doozy. So, and the fact that so many of these nuts are willing to just do anything for these people. That's the scary part. That's the scary part. Say, bring my friends. We'll eat for at least 6 months. We'll eat well for at least 6 months. Hey, sounds good to me. That sounds good to me. Hey, road trip. Road trip. By the way, speaking of eating, I gotta say something. Remember, I gave y'all a homework assignment. Did anybody go to Walmart? I did. Did anybody else think or give a damn about going to Walmart to check the meat section out? I went. Check this out. I went to Walmart and I was literally the only one in the meat section at Walmart. I was the only person in the meat section. So I grabbed I grabbed. I like the Kentucky. I can't think of the name of it now. It's Kentucky something ham, and I like that ham. And I took it and I weighed it in the produce section, and the weight was right. Remember Monday, I played a video where this guy was Kentucky legend or something. Anyway, this guy in the video was going through the meat department at Walmart and picking up items of different meat stuffs and taking it to the produce section and weighing it. And the weights were off. The weights were off by as much as 50% or more. And he just picked up individual stuff in the meat aisle. Well, I was curious. About that, and I went to Walmart to see if, first of all, if people had saw the video and were weighing meat. You know, people walking around weighing meat. But when I got there, I was literally the only person in the meat section. Now, I don't know why that is. Oh, you went after work and people were not buying meat. You too. When I went, there was nobody there buying meat. I was the only one. And I bought that one thing of ham because, again, I do like it, and that's the only place I've even seen it. They might have it at Myers, but when I went and weighed it, the weight was correct. But the shocking thing was there was no one buying meat at Walmart. Now, maybe those that would buy meat at Walmart may have been buying it at Sam's, getting it in bulk. I don't know. But I thought that was interesting. They were buying eggs and milk and everything. No meat. There was nobody buying meat. So, interesting phenomenon. So, moving along. Haven't shopped at Walmart in 5 years. Well, that is good. That's impressive, actually. I will say, I don't shop at Walmart very much. Every now and then, there's an item that I know they have, and I know it's cheaper, and I know I can get it today versus waiting on Amazon to bring it or something. So I will run in and do that. Like yesterday, I knew there was 2 things I wanted to get, that I knew they had. For those of you who are putting away get home bags, bug out bags, paracord. Walmart has a 1100 paracord. 1100 is the weight it can hold. 1100 paracord for $5. And that is an essential to have in a bug out bag or a get home bag. Now, Elise, like I was just saying, the reason I was even talking about going to Walmart, I don't know if you heard me, but that was because of that video. That video threw me off. This dude said he was showing that the weight of the meat was off by about 50% or better. And that was crazy to me. So, and maybe Walmart took care of it. Or maybe everybody saw it and decided they're not going to Walmart for meat. I tell you what, Walmart sucks anyway. It sucks. So, my hat's off to you, at least, for not going there for 5 years. Absolutely. I'm a Costco man myself. I shop at Costco or Myers. Those are the 2 places I usually go. Costco or Myers, or one of the little places in the neighborhood. I do shop in my neighborhood, okay? I shop at Costco because decades ago, when I first went into a Costco, I found out Costco pays their employees very well as opposed to a Sam's or a Walmart. And Costco takes good care of their employees compared to Walmart or Sam's. So it's been Costco for me ever since. Not to mention, that damn hot dog. That hot dog and soda, you can't beat it. So, that's my preference for shopping. And you meet good folks at Costco, actually. So, but prepare as much as you can. Put together a bug out bag or a get home bag. I have what I call both. It's a bag that I take with me just in case I'm out and I need to get home. Something happened, I got to get home. But it is also doubles as my bug out bag. And I'm in it all the time. So, and the bug out bag, for those that don't know, is a bag you would need to grab. It stays at my back door. And if you need to grab it and get out quick, that's a bug out bag, for those that don't know. So be prepared. That's all I'm saying. Now, moving along. Anybody know who Andrew Schultz is? Andrew Schultz has a podcast. Charlemagne, everybody knows Charlemagne. Everybody knows Ryan. What's his name? Something Ryan. Sean Ryan. Sean Ryan and Joe Rogan. All of those guys. They all had Trump on their shows. Okay? They all had Trump come sit down and talk. And they asked him questions and he told them lies and they listened to them lies. And now, all of them, Candace Owens, all of them are literally backtracking, saying they didn't know. I didn't know he was going to do this. This ain't what I voted for. I had no idea he would do this. They would do this. Listen to Andrew Schultz explain this. Listen to this.
Just that we're trained that the first thing you should do is de-escalate the situation. You should never try to escalate the situation. And clearly, all of them are escalating this situation. The training is horrible. I did 6 months of training. They're doing 47 days because this is the 47th.
I saw Amy Klobuchar on the Sunday News. She said that they do 47 days of training because Trump is the 47th president.
That's crazy.
Yes, disgusting. And look, I know I had Trump on the podcast, and I'm aware.
Stop explaining that. Man.
No, but let me just clarify because I think it is important to say. Like, I know how I had him on the podcast, and when I'm talking out about this, I'm not doing it to get people to be like, oh, he's a good guy or whatever like that, or trying to get anybody on my side. I understand that this is a horrific event that happened. I objectively want to talk about it. I'm not trying to win anybody over in this.
You understand? You know the difference between right and wrong.
There's a difference between right and wrong, and there's a difference between respecting and honoring the Constitution, the backbone of our country, and then completely shredding it. And this is completely shredding it. And now they're realizing that people have noticed it, and now they're trying to backtrack it. But
by the way, he's been wiping his ass with the Constitution.
Sure,
and I've been on record a million times saying when he said we should terminate the Constitution to overthrow the results of an election, shit like that got to be disqualifying if you're running for president.
So here's a perfect example. So it's I know that there are people sounding the alarms about this. When I saw these last few weeks in Minnesota, I didn't think it was possible to happen in the United States of America. I'm being 100% serious.
To white people?
No, to anybody.
But you've seen it happen to black people.
Exactly.
Yes, to white people.
It's okay to say that.
No,
it is.
No,
but it's okay to say that.
I don't. I mean, I didn't know that this was possible to happen in the United States of America. And what I'm specifically talking about with this situation here, and like not only this one, but also what we've seen ICE doing, like entering homes without warrants,
Yeah.
like arresting people.
Unconstitutional.
It is unconstitutional. And they've done this weird thing where like they have like a federally administrative warrant, which is some bullshit. It doesn't even allow you to actually have access into a home. Yeah, they're trying to find ways around the system. And what that says to me, when you're willing to shred the Constitution to preserve it's not only your power, but your ideas of what should happen, it is incredibly un-American.
That's the fourth amendment. First, second, fourth amendment.
The fourth is the one about entering somebody's
Yes.
home. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, I just think it's an important thing to speak out against. I just think it's horrific.
Now, did you hear him say he didn't know that this could happen in America? And did you hear Charlemagne say you didn't know it could happen to white people in America? And he literally had to admit that. He had to actually say it. He didn't know it could happen to white people in America. See, that is the thing that changed, okay, when they killed that young man in Minnesota. White males all over the country saw it for the first time. That's the first time they ever actually saw it. They've been looking at it for years. They've been looking at it happen to us for years and didn't see it. They looked, but didn't see it. The first time they saw it was when they killed that man. When they shot that white man in the back while he's face down, unarmed. That's when white men realized, oh shit, that could have been me. That's when they realized, oh shit, that could have been me. Oh shit, they killing unarmed people in the street. Now it's unarmed people in the streets. When it was black people, it was, oh, he didn't comply. You must have not complied with something. They must have told you to do something and you didn't do it. That's the only reason they would have shot you down like that. They wouldn't have done that if you had complied. Now, you could tell them till you blue in the face, hey, they shot him for nothing. No, they ain't killing nobody for nothing. They shot a white man that was trying to help a white woman off the ground. This white man was trying to help a white woman off the ground that they had shoved down. Now, we already know white men don't care anything about white women. We already know that. Okay? White men don't give a damn about white women. That's why they shoved her to the ground. But he went over and was going to help her up. Black people still on break. Hey, I tell you what. Damn right. Damn right. Like I said last year. Hey, it's time for them to do some fighting. It's time for them to fight. I'm going to find the future Mrs. Gibson down at Costco. You know what? Hey, you might, maybe. Hey, man, you know what? Stay tuned. But, yeah, white America, it's time for white America to do the fighting. These white women, they finding out every day. White women finding out every day that DEI meant them. They're finding out every day. Oh, wait a minute. You mean to tell me they created DEI for me? It wasn't for black people? No, it wasn't for black people. It was for white women. And white men is finding out that this administration will gun down an unarmed white man for these people. They're finding out. They're finding out what it's like. They're finding out what it looks like. And I said all along, when they stormed that Capitol building, January 6th, that should have been a bloodbath. It should have been a bloodbath that day. But them white people wasn't going to shoot at white people coming up them steps. White people was not going to shoot white people coming in them doors. They wasn't going to shoot white people. We got a whole different group of white people running it now. We got a group of white people that'll kill white men. Okay? They'll gun white men down. Because they have a lust for power that is undeniable. And white America is finding this out. This may turn into brother against brother. We've done it once before. Black folks at home with the popcorn. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tell me how this works out. You know? Let me know how this works out. Because we've been there. And hey, if shit hits the fan, we already know how to suffer. Okay? We know what suffering like. You know, if the lights go out, which may happen, we already know how to deal with that. You know, we know how to eat on the cheap. We've been eating on the cheap forever. I only wish, I got one wish. I'm going to pass this wish on to you all. Maybe somebody out there can help me with it. I wish black people would learn the killer instinct. I wish black people would learn the builder instinct, the conqueror instinct. Somewhere we lost our conqueror, builder, killer instinct. You see, white America, all of this time, white America has been operating from a point of view that if we let them up, if we let off of their necks, they will do to us what we did to them. That's what white America has been working. That's the perspective they've been working from all of this time. The entire time this country has been here. There's been a fear. Remember that, they spent a year talking about replacement theory, the replacement, white replacement. They're going to replace us. You know, that's their fear. Their fear is we are going to do to them what they did to us. My problem is black people don't have that drive. Black people don't have a revenge drive. They don't have a conquering drive. Black people have just been wanting to get along. Hey, just let me live. Just let me live in peace. And we both can live in peace. You can't live in peace with a warmonger. There can be no peace with a warmonger. And they have been showing us that decade after decade. If somebody can help me out and get black people to understand, hey, there's going to come a time when we are going to have to rise up. It's going to be a time. This may be it. We're going to have to start building stuff for ourselves. We're going to have to start having good communities ourselves. We got to start paying attention to our community and building our community. And not worrying about them accepting us. Yeah, that's what we wanted white people to accept us. That's what we wanted. And instead of us accepting us and building, see, there's carpenters, electricians, there's craft people in the black community. Build some shit in the black community. There's business people in the black community. Some of them are poor business people, but we got business people. Build some shit in the black community. Okay, start. One of the biggest complaints that white people have, one of the biggest complaints is they think we need them all the time. They feel like we always getting something from them. You need us all the time. That's their feeling. Between them thinking we need them all the time, and you heard it here, folks, first, there's more white people on welfare than blacks. But they see a black face every time they think welfare. We all know that. Decades we've been knowing that. And everybody knows there's more white people on welfare than us. But they still feel like we need them. And we still act like it. We won't get off our ass and do good in our community. We won't talk to these young folks and get them to going in a better direction. We just won't do it. We need to do that, as well as have that conqueror mentality. When they come through the neighborhood, if this shit hits the fan like it could, they're going to be coming to a neighborhood near you. Get that conqueror mentality going. We're going to need it. Because when it comes down to this election, and they've already let us know they're going to try and fuck it up. They went down into Fulton County and took the documents from the election place. And you know why they took them. Anybody can understand why they took them. There's going to come up with something. Look what we found in the documents. You know, Rudy Giuliani, he's been, I don't know where he is now. He's been in hiding, since he broke now. You don't see him anywhere. But, him and the My Pillow guy, they had all kind of stuff that they would love to slip into those documents. Okay? So, get ready for some kind of announcement about what was found in the documents. So, when they get to the point where they decide they're going to screw this election up, we'll see where the rubber hit the road. That's all I got, y'all. That's all I got. Help me out. Do me a favor. Somebody please work on getting that conqueror mentality. That's what we need. We need an angry black man mentality going into this shit. Because we need to come out the other side of this and start building. Whatever happens on the other side of this, there needs to be a whole new way of thinking. Because this country's not going back to Joe Biden, This country is not going back to the way it was when Joe Biden was in the office. Don't think that. Don't think that everything is just going to settle down and be the way it was. When these people came in, they ripped out whole systems. Doge and them, all of those programs they got rid of, those programs are gone. All of this stuff is going to have to be recreated. This country is going to have to be recreated after this. There's going to have to be a sweeping change in the way the government runs in this country. Nothing is going to be the same after this. Get ready for it. It's going to be completely different. It's going to be completely different. Let's just make it to the other side of it and have the right attitude when we get there. Let's have a builder attitude after this, because government's going to be recreated. If the shit hits the fan, our people are going to have to be recreated. Let's do it. Hey, y'all have a good weekend, good week, rest of the week. I'm getting out of here. Thanks for hanging out with me, y'all. I appreciate y'all as usual. By the way, I keep forgetting to say it. Hey, hit that thumbs up for me. Subscribe and or tell somebody about the podcast. And they can come hang out with us. Okay? Appreciate it. I will see y'all Monday. I'm out.